Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to this other edition of Economy First on your favorite television, Freaka TV. We talk about Africa without the cocoa money. And to know more about it, we have on this set our experts will bring us clarification. Good morning, Mr. Onjori Simon Mukete.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chantal.
You are consulting in public relations and communication and marketing strategy. You stay and work in Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, exactly. My name is Simon Mukete. I'm a senior consultant in public relations and strategy, as in communication and marketing. I live in AG in Equatorial Guinea, and also I move all over Africa to bring my contribution and my experience to countries, governments, and multinationals about how to go about doing business.
Thank you for accepting our invitation and for honoring. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the invitation. It's my pleasure.
Cocoa makes Africa the world's largest producer. Of the 17% of cocoa exported, Africa only makes 3% on the profit generated by the chocolate market. A real paradox. According to International Cocoa Organization (ICCO) figures, the global chocolate industry generates 100 billion. Producing countries receive only 6% of this amount, while farmers, who are direct bean producers, receive only 2% of this manna. It is more urgent than ever today to reverse this trend. Africa must have the money from her cocoa sold. For example, in 2017, Ivory Coast produced 2.1 billion tons of cocoa out of a world production estimated, according to the International Cocoa Organization (ICCO), at 4.7 tons. The country generated CFA francs 2.13 billion in revenues, or about 3.350 billion during the 2016 and the 2017 cocoa season on the bean trade, when American chocolate companies generated sales of around 22 billion in 2017. Question: Mr. Mukete, how can we analyze to better understand that the three major African cocoa producers, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Cameroon, are unable to benefit from the sale of cocoa beans?
Anyway, thanks for the question. First of all, there's little or no communication between these three countries, so that's a big problem. There was an economic conference that just ended on Saturday in Equatorial Guinea, where this was the main problematic. African countries, they just work on their own. They do their business on their own. They don't work together. Ivory Coast and Cameroon, they have no link so far as cocoa development is concerned. They have to do more. So this is a problem. If you guys don't do more, if you hold the market and you don't work together so that you can have control over the market, then those who are buying will always be the one to place the deal and tell you and throw the dime and tell you where to go and which direction to take. So that's a major problem. It's not only in the cocoa sector. We have to work together. African countries don't work together, and this is a big problem. And this is a major handicap in the slowness and the absence of our development in general. And this is giving us a lot of problem to diversify our economy, because that's what it's all about. The problem, the main thing is what do we put in place so that we can diversify our economy? That is a major issue, question that we have to ask. I'm working on a very, very important agricultural project with the Equatorial Guinea government. I'll be going in a few weeks. I'll be in Equatorial Guinea to talk with the Minister of Finance and Economy and also the Minister of Agriculture. We are quite advanced, but we have to identify those who are really working on the ground and try to see how can we support them. And we have to make sure that countries in Africa and the CEMAC region, they link together so that they can really solve issues like this together.
How can we be the largest supplier of the raw material for chocolate production, which is cocoa, and earn only 3% of the profit generated by the chocolate market?
Because we transform very little. We just plant, we harvest, and then we send away. So this is just the basic stuff. There's a lot of stuff that comes out of cocoa which we are not doing, and which so far we are not ready to do. So that's the problem. So today is for us to be ready to create some awareness and make sure that we can encourage and ease the opening of industries to young engineers, young technicians, those who want to do business, those who want to invest in this business. They should make things very, very easy for them so that they can operate and they can transform. The main thing is the transformation. We do little or less or no transformation in Africa. If we don't work together to try and be transforming, then it will continue to be like that. If we have to do the cocoa and we have to send it to America, send it to France, send it to Belgium, they are making one of the most beautiful chocolate, but out of our cocoa. I mean, it's really a shame because they cannot plant. So it means that we own the market. We have to work together in such a way that we can control and impose our rules on the market. But so far, we are not doing that. Our goal today, especially with the new Minister of Economy and Finance of Equatorial Guinea, is to really rally African ministries together, rally African governments together, try to work with SMAC, work with the AU, so that there should be some awareness of how we develop Africa together, how we go to this alternative economy, which is based on agriculture, which is based on the agricultural domain where we are very strong in. That is banana, that is cocoa, and cocoa today is a major tool that we have to use, but we have to work together, which is not really the case. But there are good initiatives that are coming together. Africans are begin to be aware that they have to do a lot of stuff together to develop and to really impose themselves in the world market. Because if you go as Ivory Coast, as Cameroon, you can't fight against America. But if all the African countries that are producing cocoa, they stand as one, like the petroleum companies are trying to do now, then we can stand the challenge. Then we can impose some rules in the market.
Is it a bad luck for Africa?
No, it's not a bad luck. I don't think it's a bad luck. It's a matter of decision. It's a matter. First of all, it's a political decisions. I work in a country what they call Equatorial Guinea. The president is very, very. It's a major thing for him today to diversify the economy. They have a lot of petrol, a lot of gas, but they are trying to diversify. And you have to invest in this, and you have to encourage the young people to go and invest. We have done a lot of stuff in Cameroon. We have the professional lycées, but you need to give means to these people so that they can go out there and then try to create or to invent, to put in place their invention, and then we can move forward. You have to give the means. You have to make things easy for them. In America, the agricultural people, the agricultural sectors they receive finance from the government. In Europe, it's the same thing. The government gives them budgets so that they can be comfortable. We have to do the same in Africa. We have to give enough money to those who are doing agriculture, those who are really working on the field, so that they can really stand and fight with these very, very big and multinationals.
Africa holds the future of the chocolate industry in the world. What do we need to process and consume our cocoa beans on the spot?
We have to open up. We have to make sure that initiatives are there, and there are a lot of private initiatives. It's not the government that will do private initiatives, but you have to make things easy for them. You have to assist them with all what they need, and try to protect the market somehow, because we cannot open the market to the big multinationals who they have a lot of money, they have the support from their government, which is not the case with our local entrepreneurs. So we have to make sure that we support our local entrepreneurs. We support those who are doing the cocoa business. We try to support transformation of the cocoa in Africa. I mean, we cannot. The cocoa must not be transformed in every country. All the countries can decide that we're going to plant. Make sure that the transformation is being done in Cote d'Ivoire or it's being done in Cameroon, but we have to choose. And then everybody tries to protect and support and push so that it will be easier for us to sell and have it cheap, and then we can impose our rules in the market. Because today it's all about that. If you don't control the market, you don't control what you do, then the others will have to take the right. They will tell you go this way, you go this way, because they are the one deciding, they're the one buying, they're the one, they have all the industries, they have the machine, they're the one doing the transformation. And when they come back here, it's too expensive. So we have to do it in such a way that, I know in Cameroon we produce a little bit, but it's very, very insignificant. We have to do more than that. For us to do more than that, it can't be a matter of Cameroon. It should be an African matter. The solution should be African. It cannot be only per nation.
Thank you. Cameroon has just inaugurated in Kikem, in the western region, a processing plant of cocoa beans at a cost of 50 billion francs CFA, 800 direct and 2,000 indirect jobs. It is not the beginning of a solution for the economic independence of the continent.
I think it's good. I'm impressed, but as I say, I would have loved to see the Minister of Agriculture of Ivory Coast, the Minister of Economy for Ivory Coast during that day. They would have invited him. If I was the one advising the government, that's what I would have done. If you go in Equatorial Guinea, when they do events, they try to make sure that they link all the other countries to it. To me, that's what I would have done. So that we try to see if can Ivory Coast not use or Ghana, can they use this project that Cameroon has put in place? Yeah, we can't just be going like that on our own. This is not the best solution. It is a good thing. It's going to create jobs, but we have to develop a market. This cocoa that they are doing, it will go to which market? Who? They will sell where? So you have to identify all those things. And for it to be easier, you need to sit together with all the other countries that are producing cocoa, that are planting cocoa, all the powers in Africa. They have to sit together and then they decide. Cameroon cannot take that decision alone. It's a good thing. I mean, you have to appreciate it's going to create jobs, and this bet is not enough. We can't do it. We can't do it on our side. We have to work together. All the countries are coming together to be stronger. We can't be doing things apart. But it's a good initiative. I mean, we have to appreciate that. But I would have preferred that I would have preferred it to be an African thing to make it an African event. We're supposed to have the president of the African Union, the secretary general of the African Union, the CEMAC president was supposed to be there. I mean, Ivory Coast, the Ivorian Minister of Economy and Finance, or the Minister of Agriculture would have been there also. I mean, that would have been very, very powerful message sent to the world.
Thank you. Just 50 billion francs CFAs for such a project. What prevents the African producer countries of cocoa to multiply such examples to block the road to multinationals?
Yeah, I just answered the question. That's why I say if everybody is doing their stuff in their corner, it won't help. Today we have to think. That's my job today. That's what we try to do. We go around and talk to the government officials all over Africa. You can't do things on your own. If you have a project that is similar somewhere, you guys should put your head together and see how you can develop specific aspect of the project. I mean, you have to put together all your complementary strength so that you can be stronger tomorrow. So that's the most important thing. I mean, there's no need to do a 15 billion project here. You go and do the same project in Ivory Coast, the same project in Ghana. You can do something else that link to the same results, but we can touch various domains of the cocoa production.
Thank you. We are aware that there are just over 9 cocoa processing plants on the African continent. However, factories owned by Westerners like CISO, which is a subsidiary of Barry Callebaut in Swiss, and Semois, which is a French chocolate company. We have also Cargill Cocoa in United States
Yeah.
can develop.
I mean, the problem is that for you to sell a domain or sell a project or make the project attractive or make a job or something attractive, the government have to create an environment around it that will make local business people to rush and go and do it. You have to give them a lot of facilities. You have to make them to feel that if they go there, maybe they will not pay taxes for 5 years. Maybe the government is going to support them 50% investment in the project. There are a lot of stuff that we can do, but it shouldn't be a single person doing the thing. So those are stuff that we have to do because all those companies, they have backings from their government. The government give them backing so that they can spread all over the world. And it's logic, it's business. I mean, it's business. They can't come and they have a pity on us. No, we have to make sure that we're strong together. We have to make sure that we think together. We have to make sure that we put our energy together. If we don't do that, then we'll always be behind. That's clear.
Is it the poor governance of its leaders of the great corruption at the top of states?
No, I think most African countries they want to say I'm doing my thing. Cameroon is doing his thing. Ivory Coast is doing his thing. That's the problem. So that that spirit, that switch of mind is not yet there. That's what we need today. That switch, that mind switch of doing things together, building stuff together. Not saying that, not competing among yourself. We don't need to compete among African countries. We have to work together and be strong as a continent. When we be strong as a continent, then it will be easier for us to develop our continent, because nobody will come and do it, and we can't fight just going alone. Cameroon can't fight against American companies. It will never be possible. We will never win. But if Cameroon links with all the other countries in the ECOWAS region and the CEMAC region, definitely we are going to become an agricultural strength. There are some sectors that have understood, like the petroleum sector. They are really working together to be a second power towards United States and the other countries. We have to do the same in agriculture. As I said, I'm working on a very, very powerful agricultural project with the EG government, and we're going to get there, and we're going to rally all the other countries into it and try to see how we can transform agriculture today, because you have to show there are a lot of young people they want to do agriculture, but I mean you have to give them the means. They cannot be going, you can't give them machete, you can't give them hooves, you can't give them wheelbarrow. That's nonsense. You have to make sure that you give them what they need so that they can develop the cocoa market, and give them what they need, so that they can plant industries to transform this cocoa. We have to support them. The government, that's when the government have to support. That's when the African International Organization, the CEMAC, the ECOWAS, and the African Union have to support, must support these projects around, so that we can have a better strength, and we can fight equally with the companies coming from overseas.
Welcome once again to this economy first set. We are talking about Africa without the cocoa money. My last question. To finish, how to make it so that in the top 10 of the biggest chocolate manufacturers of the world, one finds there are African company, since the first are American, Mexican, and Swiss.
Yeah, Mexico is not a wonderful power. It's just a political decision. We have to make that decision that we have to be strong. Don't only make and put on a paper. It have to be practical, and we have to use external expertise. Governments cannot use only government workers to do very technical and specific jobs like this. You have to involve experts from outside so that they can come and assist the government. Most countries are doing that. As I said again, Rwanda is one of the leading countries in Africa, among the best in the world in doing business. For you to do that, they don't hesitate to go and hire somebody who is not from Rwanda, but who they know that the person is going to bring a positive contribution to the development of the country. Equatorial Guinea is doing the same now, because they are aware that they want to be the best. And that is the mindset we must have for us to be big. If we are not able to say this person is tougher, let me bring the person in so that the person can help me raise up the country. That's what we did from the leadership. That's what we need from those who are guiding and those who are sitting on the driver's seat, so far as our African development is concerned. Because I don't like to talk about Cameroon. I always like to talk about African development, because we have to fight as African. We have to develop as a continent. That's the only way we can go further. That's the only way we can be best. That's the only way we can be stronger, if we try to develop ourselves together with our differences, with all our various qualities, and put it together. That's the only way we can be powerful and strong. And cocoa is a very, very vital business. It's a very, very vital, great opportunity for Africans, because we have the fertile soil. We have to do it. We don't have to sell our fertile soil to others. We have to develop. We have a lot of unemployment rates, and we have a lot of people who are going to special schools in agriculture, and they have the knowledge. So we need to see how we can accompany them, how the government can support them, how the government can put money on them, and so that they can work as a team. What I don't believe is give money to an individual. They can be 50, they can be 20, they can be 10 in a group, and then the government support them. In that way, we are sure that the business can be tough.
Thank you. We thank Mr. Henri Simon Mukete. It was very great. You come to share your expertise. We hope that at home you could have some answers. We remind you that you are in the television channel Africa TV, Africa Seen Differently. The program is Economy First, and we receive Mr. Onyori Simon Mukete as our guest. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. Goodbye.